Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you are in the world, welcome, and thank you for joining us. My name is Carl Anthony, and this is Auto Vision News live at InCabin from the Auto World Museum in Brussels, Belgium. This is the inaugural InCabin event from Sense Media, following an exciting 2 days of AutoSense on Tuesday and Wednesday. Joining us here on the mezzanine is Adrian Capa. Adrian is the Senior Vice President of Engineering with DTS Xperi. He's responsible for leading DTS AutoSense, the company's in-cabin sensing product line. He's also the general manager of the DTS Xperi R&D facility in Bucharest. Adrian has 2 decades of experience in the space of computer vision and edge AI. In addition, he has over 40 granted and published U.S. patents in computer vision and computational imaging. Joining us here on the show floor at InCabin, Adrian Capa. Adrian, thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me here and for a very thorough introduction.
Thank you. DTS Xperi, a founding partner of InCabin. So this is a special event for you. Tell us, what do you think so far of the first day?
Well, I believe we definitely started with the right foot. The way the ecosystem reacted and rallied around the event was above our expectations. There are over 300 people that have signed up.
Yes.
All the relevant players from the ecosystem, from technology makers,
Yes.
camera makers are here. So I think it went very well. And I'm also very excited about what it will be next, given the way we started and the response on such a short term.
Yes.
I do believe that next year, when we'll have an event in Phoenix and back here in Bruxelles, it will get even bigger and more people from the in-cabin space will join us.
Indeed, we're excited to have you. So Adrian, for those of us who are not necessarily familiar with DTS Xperi or may need a refresher on the work that you do, give us an overview of the company.
Sure. So the company as a whole builds products for various markets,
Sure.
consumer electronics, automotive, since we're here, streaming, TV. We are in the market for decades. Our automotive product lines historically are related to enhanced radio experiences, HD radio,
Yes.
Which is one standard that is basically mainly used in the United States, but in other places of the world as well for decades now.
Right.
DTS, our legacy sound brand, which now also covers imaging,
Yes.
as I'm going to explain. Through it, we enable enhanced sound experience in the car, post-processing, codecs. Our third product line in automotive is related with connectivity,
Yes.
bringing metadata and personalized content in the car. We call it DTS Auto Stage.
Yes.
And the fourth one that I'm taking care of, DTS AutoSense, is basically building technologies for in-cabin sensing.
Yes.
And the reason we are here at the event.
Yes. So now that we have the high-level overview, let's just dive down a little bit deeper and let's go more in depth to some of the technologies and solutions and products that you talked about.
So for DTS AutoSense, we have 3 main product lines that we focus on. Historically, the first product line that we have developed is around driver monitoring solutions.
Yes.
So all the core technologies that are required to reach the NCAP needs around attentiveness and drowsiness. The driver monitoring solution is in the market since 2018.
Yes.
We have several iterations of it already implemented and deployed. A couple of years later, or actually from the beginning, the reason we have joined the automotive in-cabin market was because we have seen that DMS is a starting point, but after that, a lot of market needs can leverage our capabilities. So we started to focus on a new product line around occupants monitoring.
Yes.
Occupants monitoring looks at everything that's in the car, people, pets, objects, and on top of understanding, what the driver is doing, is looking at everybody else, can recognize and can personalize, can enable personalization within the cars.
Sure.
So we started to work on this product line a few years back, and since last year, it's also on the market in cars as we speak. The third and the current product line we focus on, which is actually showcased here at the event.
Yes.
And it will be on the road starting with 2025 cars. Combines driver and occupants monitoring technologies in a single solution, plus on both cases adds advanced functionality, which focuses both on safety but also on user experience.
Right. Your customers, what are some of their biggest challenges? And then, of course, ultimately, how do you help them solve those challenges, Adrian?
Well, I think that the challenges come from two directions.
Sure.
One challenge is that some technologies must be introduced into the car, right? According to the new safety requirements and regulations, having a driver monitoring solution becomes a must. Why is this a challenge? Right. Safety in general is something that people take for granted, right? You will not pay premium to feel safe. That's something that you deserve.
Yes.
So the whole challenge from this side is, how do you build technologies that are designed in such a way that are not demanding in terms of system requirements?
Right.
So the way we address it, on one side, we are focusing on really small machine learning technologies. So all our algorithms are designed to be very light in computational intensity. This translates into the fact that our hardware requirements in terms of processing power or memory are quite low. And this helps the customer basically to choose platforms which are, let's say, more cost-friendly.
Right.
The second one is the way we are designing our technologies is not assuming that there will be a perfect image quality or sensor quality.
Right.
So we are looking at the fine line between, what is the minimum sensor requirements and what is required in terms of performance. So our solutions are designed to work with low resolution sensors and so on. This is one area. The other area where the market needs help is about defining what's more than requirements or safety requirements. When you introduce this kind of technologies and this kind of systems, definitely there is opportunity to do much more with it. The question is what?
Right.
What can you do? And as we come from a world that it was really focused on user experience, from our experience in the digital camera world in the early days, in smartphones, in drones and so on, we really can come with some, let's say, forward-looking advice to the customers, highlight what can be done from the technology point of view, what things can be enabled such that it can validate it with the market, and new features, let's call them premium features, can come up.
Of course. So a good overview of DTS Xperi, a good deep dive into your solutions. What about the milestones for DTS Xperi? Let's talk about some of your most important milestones over the last couple of years.
Sure. So I will start historically. So let's say we entered late this market compared to some of our competitors. But our pace has been at a rhythm that we have catched up, and I would say that soon enough it will be clear that things will change in terms of leadership. In 2019, we released the first DMS product. 2021, the first occupants monitoring product. One important thing to mention is that automotive is an area where innovation needs to work well with a lot of processes and regulation, and we have had major milestones in this direction as well. For instance, in 2020 we had our first SPICE assessment, and we reached SPICE level 1. This year we have reached TSAX level 3, which is a security requirement very important for automotive customers. Also this year we have started to develop, or actually we are on full speed to develop a product that will be released in the market in the next few years. And maybe the last important thing to mention is that we are not just looking at standard type of sensors. And for instance, in 2021, we have announced the first driver monitoring solution that can work on time event camera.
With all of the trends we're seeing in automotive, and there's many, obviously in-cabin, but from electrification to ADAS to autonomy, what are some of the biggest trends, Adrian, that you see right now that are shaping the future of the industry?
Well, you mentioned definitely a number of areas. I will, let's say, limit to what will happen in cabin. And one trend that we foresee is that, given the fact that us as end users have been used with the experience at home on our mobile devices, there will be a lot of pressure for the interior of the cars to change.
Yes.
The car is the most expensive piece of technology we buy, and we definitely do not expect it to be more backward in terms of AI or user experience or HMI compared with the other devices. So we do see a lot of potential for transformation there, room for technologies that will help the car to better understand the users, and the users are inside. Not just drive by itself, but understand what's going on inside. And with that, to be able to respond to the needs or even come in advance of the needs, predictive HMI or predictive type of changes in the comfort system, content consumption are things that we do foresee as transformation in the market.
Of course. We've been talking so much about cars. What is your favorite car, my friend?
Yeah, nice question. I will not mention a brand. I will just say that my favorite type of car is the SUV.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah.
Great. And maybe, at least for me, thinking the reason is that it gives me more freedom than a regular car. I'm the kind of person that really likes outdoors and nature, and I do feel that I can, do more things with an SUV than with a regular car.
Indeed. Adrian, thank you so much for your time, sharing your expertise and your thought leadership with us. Great first event as the founding partner. Thank you for your participation. I look forward to getting caught up with you in Phoenix. Have a good rest of the show, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for the invitation. It was really great to be here and discuss with you.